Hey there, everyone! Welcome to our review of The Bachelorette Episode 3. We just finished watching it, which is why I basically feel like somebody went right in front of me and just turned on a leaf blower. Like, I'm all discombobulated.
This was such a weird episode. Funny, messy, strange. I don't know what is going on with Claire.
We must become now Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? Like, this was...
Oh, I'm entertained. This was entertaining.
This was this dumpster fire was so big that most dumpsters are just like, wow, that's impressive.
That's
like,
right.
We are gonna dig through this garbage. We are gonna talk all about the roast date. Claire mentioning Dale, I feel like approximately 2 trillion times over 2 hours.
All these weird group dates that all ended up including Dale somehow.
I feel like production, like at a certain point, they're just like, you know what? Maybe Claire is the villain now. Like, maybe we're going to start giving her the villain edit.
She did. Like, last episode, a little bit of a villain edit, but tonight, she is getting a villain edit. I do not know what is going on. I've never really seen that before.
We have so much to go through, but, you know, as you're going on this journey with us, just subscribe to the channel because we're doing Bachelorette coverage every week, and I'm sure we may even have some bonus ones as this week goes along because there's some crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff coming up, so yeah, make sure you're subscribed and ring that bell so you get notifications.
I don't really know where to start here, but I think we'll give Tayshia like 5 seconds because that's what they gave her on the show.
Yes. Okay. I am glad that they finally just confirmed that she's coming on the show. The thing that they haven't really explained yet, and I'm not really sure, is do these guys are then with her and then she's just with them? Because in some ways that really sucks for everybody because these guys came on thinking they were with Claire. And Tayshia is not getting the guys that she may have wanted, because I'm assuming when you go on the show that the producers will be like, okay, do you like tall guys, short guys, older guys, younger guys? What do you like? And Tayshia's just like, I'll have Claire's leftovers. That's not fair. I really hope they bring in some guys that, you know, she put down for. No offense to the guys that are there. Everybody has their own taste. I will back out now.
Okay, I don't think this is... You don't need to back out. Number one, I need you in this video. Number two, I don't think it's that controversial a take. Like,
It should be fair for her. That's what I'm trying to say. It should be fair for her.
This is what I think it should be. I think Chris Harrison should go in and be like, guys, Claire has left. We're bringing someone else in. Okay, I'm going to stop doing the clips. He talks too slow. But it's like, he needs to ask the guys, are you interested in staying here and potentially getting to know someone else? I think some of them should stay if they want because they didn't really get much of an opportunity with Claire.
No.
But I think they should bring in some people who are also cast specifically for Tayshia because sometimes what you really end up finding is right for you is not what you would expect. Maybe Bennett ends up being Tayshia's soulmate and she never saw it coming.
He is the hero of this episode. Bennett lit it up.
That is my favorite moment of the entire season. Bennett saying, "The roast went well. I lit Dale up." Did it, Bennett? Like,
yes, he did. He did. I love that he dropped that mic on the phone. He doesn't care that that's on the floor. That mic is probably like $700. He's just like, I don't even care.
Bennett apparently has about $2 trillion himself, so I think Bennett can more than handle it if he knows Mark Zuckerberg.
Whoever casted Bennett, like, good job on that. He is really a character.
He is, yeah, he's funny, he's charismatic. Bennett, I really hope you are in paradise because you will be the king of paradise. We will all want to watch you.
I will watch that.
I already predict that Bennett's Bachelor in Paradise theme song will involve him like wearing a captain's hat and he'll be like popping like a $1,000 bottle of champagne.
He'll have some sort of white scarf from Hermes or something.
He'll have on swim trunks, no shirt, and an Hermes scarf. And that will be what we got. Okay,
let's talk about the roast since we're on the roast. We'll jump around a little bit here since we are already down that hole. So let's just go further down the hole. Okay, let's talk about this roast. it really could have gone one of two ways. It was either going to go, everyone was going to roast Dale, and Clare was going to take a minute to be like, what is going on here? Am I not seeing something? Which could happen if she wasn't already dying on the Dale Hill already.
Yeah.
That could have happened. It's just this roast came around a little bit too late. She already was going to be upset about it, which is what happened. Everybody brought up Dale. Everybody said these things. She ends up being mad that everybody was coming for her fiance. And I was like, fiance? Did I miss that proposal, Clare?
Yeah, apparently we all did.
What is happening? But the minute she said that, I was like, okay, this really needs to be done now, because this episode, I felt so uncomfortable for the guys, like across the board. Everyone but Dale.
Claire, there were some legitimately funny jokes in here that Claire did not appreciate enough. We signed you Dale because we thought you were Randy Moss's son. I found that hilarious. Like, that was great. Some of Bennett's jokes were like legit really, really funny.
They were.
And he's not wrong about Dale sort of talking for like 20 minutes. We're not on the show, but Dale's actually, he's got a really incredible skill. I feel like he can talk for 30 minutes and not actually say anything, because his explanation...
Zing! Which was the other thing that I really liked that Bennett did.
Yeah, Bennett is actually also the Zing bot from Big Brother, in case you didn't know.
So funny.
Dale, you played yourself if you thought you weren't going to get mocked this much.
Well, that was the other thing that was a bit weird, because, like, they're all out on the group date, and they're like, oh, man, finally Dale's not here. We're all going to actually just get some time with Clare. And I was like, yeah, I kind of want to see this, too. Like, how is this actually going to work? Is she really going to give people time? And then it's like, bring in the Dale. I was like, oh, and I saw all their faces, and you could see their hearts dropping, that they were just like, come on, like, we can't shake this guy even for one date. He's already on the other group date. Now he's on our group date. Now nobody's getting a rose for no reason. No reason. Everybody did exactly what she asked them to do. I'm not feeling from you guys. Why? What were they supposed to do?
This whole sequence was when the producers basically molded into like the symbiote from Spider-Man and became Venom. Like, this was their villain moment. They were just like, ha 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 ha, to themselves with bringing Dale in on this.
Oh, for sure. They were looking for drama, and I think it was difficult because they knew that she had this connection with him from the get-go. To the point that we have like this scene where all the guys are sitting around being like, this is going to be great. We all feel like we have this chance with her. We're all really connecting with her. I'm so excited to be with her. And she's in the other room smelling Dale's pants. Like, it was so weird. I don't even know where else to go with that. Who smells people's pants? And I asked them. And there's a green bow on them. I was just like, this is getting weirder and weirder. Like, listen, I was really excited for Clare to be the Bachelorette. When I heard she was the Bachelorette, I was like, this is so dope. She is, almost 40. I'm 45. Seeing someone else who's a bit older on the show, I was like, this is going to be so good. She could put up with nobody's crap. This has been like, she's been giving a lot of her own dramatic crap.
Yeah, everyone else is having to put up with Claire a lot of the time, and we could go like 30 minutes on the pants because I have a lot of questions here.
Let's hear it.
Number one, do they have like a gift shop that somebody got that bow out? Because they can't leave the bubble, right? Somebody had to have that green bow somewhere in there.
Oh, there was a producer twirling their mustache being like, oh, we'll put a bow on this. Don't you worry, Dale. We got you. Just take off your pants. I'll put a bow on it. Like, it's so weird. I've legit never. I've watched the show forever. This is so weird.
Also, how did we not get like an edited TV package about how the pants arrived? Because is this like the Bachelorhood of the traveling pants? Like, how did we not see the pants exchange until this point?
Yep.
It is all so bizarre. The only other thing I'll say about this roast date, which was total disaster, but you could see, even Bennett at a certain point was just like, I want to try to push this stuff to the back with Dale and talk a little bit about us. She's like, well, what about Dale? Well, every single person, it was just like, she didn't want anything else with them. She just wanted Dale.
Yep, and she only wanted to talk about Dale, and it was so awkward for those guys. Like, I felt it from those guys where they're just kind of like, she's not really here for anyone else. Does anybody else here think that she might even be interested in anybody but Dale? And then you got Bennett in the corner being like, she could be interested in me. She could be interested in me. I'm like, oh, Bennett.
We're all interested in you, Bennett. You get roses from all of us.
Just not Claire.
Just not Claire. Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off because we have to talk about the one legitimately like super uncomfortable thing in this episode, and that is the Zach J one-on-one and what happened here. I have already seen a lot of extreme opinions on this on Twitter one way or another.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's this, is that Claire was clearly disinterested with him for the majority of the date. I think that point of it is pretty inarguable.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything that Zach could do to win her over. He was clearly not meant for that sort of date. It wasn't going great. It seemed like there was some weird miscommunication on the kiss.
It is weird, too, because so far, two of these straight one-on-one dates have put the guys in a super uncomfortable situation because Jason's date was very odd, and it was meant to put him in a position that he didn't feel comfortable in, so there was no way to make a connection with her. And now we have this date where it's like, oh, I'm a really sort of high-strung guy and I need to be like jumping out of planes and climbing mountains and riding my motorcycle, whatever you're doing. It's me like, oh, we're gonna go on a relaxing date where you're allowed to do nothing. I was just like, what is happening on these dates? They're meant to fail is what they feel like.
And it's especially meant to fail when Claire's saying in production, like in the confessional room, oh, I wonder what Dale's doing. I want to talk about Dale. And, you know, this other guy is here. And I think that sort of weird, like she keeps talking about his energy being weird. Like her energy was clearly weird, which is why that kiss did not line up. I understand Zach being just frustrated by it. But the moment that he actually like reached out and grabbed her, I think at that point it was like, no, 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 you cannot do that. I understand fully why he was gone, and that was it for him.
I agree. Like, when I first saw it and it looked like she was going in, for a second it actually looked like he was going in too, and then she backed off almost like she was realizing she wasn't kissing Dale or something. Like, I must have blinked for a second there when he backed off because I missed it. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. It may have just been I looked away and I looked back and she was like moving back. And I was like, what was happening? I don't understand. But that minute that he was like, no, 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 I wasn't. And instead of like going for her face, he was like grabbing around her neck. And I'm not like putting any sort of accusations out there. The way he was going to get her face and grabbing around her neck was making me like, I was like, whoa, whoa, why is it coming across like that? He's not choking her, but around the neck, that felt a little weird for me to watch. So I get why she was trying to be like, okay, we're good. Let's just get out of here. Let's get out of here. And she didn't mention it on the show. But she didn't need to for me anyways. I felt it was a little bit strange.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. He was too aggressive. I think in general, is it true that he was pretty much put in an impossible position by going on a date, you know, with someone who clearly had no interest in him? I think that answer is a yes. And I think it can also be a yes that he did not have any right to sort of do exactly what he did after that and get, you know, whatever his intention was with all of it. It was just very uncomfortable the way in which he grabbed her after the fact. So
yeah, I get the feeling that he wasn't necessarily trying to like grab her and do something. He's on TV. He didn't come across like he was being like, I'm gonna come get you. It felt like a, oh my goodness, I missed this moment, no, 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 and got too into that moment that it got real weird. Yeah,
it went out of control in, I think, a really uncomfortable way. So that's fine.
Yeah, so then Chris came out. As soon as I heard the shoes, I was like, oh, that's a man. That is Chris.
Did you see how sweaty Zach was sitting there? I know they're in, like, Palm Springs.
I was supposed to say, they're in Palm Springs, like, and it was real hot when they were filming.
Like, that dude sitting there outside with all that outfit on, sitting at his, like, lonely table. He was just, like, sweating buckets, man. Yep. And that's before Chris Harrison even shows up, and he's probably just like, I'm going to walk out of here now, too, and goodbye.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We have went almost 15 minutes without even talking about Yosef, and like that's how insane this episode was.
Oh yeah, there was so much going on that Yosef is now kind of like an afterthought, and it may also be because they played this in the commercials so many times with him yelling, you know, I expect more from the oldest Bachelorette, you're almost 40, you're classless, you're crazy, I'm ashamed to be here. Like, he was bad, really bad. I don't know how else to say it. He is the worst.
Yosef sucks. Like, I'll just say it like that. Like, I understand that the dodgeball date was icky. Like, I don't like what they did with that. But you know what? Claire didn't produce the dodgeball date. That was the producers of the show.
Also, it's like, listen, for me, the dodgeball date, I wouldn't have been okay with it either. I'm not a person that's like, if someone's like, oh, let's all strip up our clothes and play whatever. Nah, it's not for me. It doesn't make Claire classless. She didn't produce this date.
Yeah.
This isn't anything that she was like, hey, producers, let's do this. This is something that they came to her by to be like, hey, Claire, you're going to do this. All right, I guess I'm going to do this. And I'm sure she could have said no or whatever, but maybe she's a person who's just like, I'm okay with it. And if the guys are okay with it, then it's okay. And I agree with that.
He is not king. He doesn't get to dictate what other people do, what is right or not right for them. And also, no. Yosef, I have seen photos of you of modeling underwear on Instagram. People have posted them all over Twitter. So stop it with your holier than thou nonsense.
I haven't even seen that. I'm like, why are you looking at pictures of Yosef?
It was underwear? I just looked at Yosef on Twitter. This was not investigative research, and then it just came up, and I was like, okay, Yosef, because everybody's clowning you, Yosef, because you're a hypocrite with how you act on this show. And there's plenty of other stuff out there about you, too, from what I've seen. And a lot of it, you know, they're allegations, but a lot of them are not great. So
yeah, and I think, like, if you're going to dig into somebody like that, like, going for a woman's age is ridiculous. And if you've been around on this channel long enough, you guys all know that I don't care. I'm 45. I call myself an old poot. I don't care. I'm not going to have anybody sort of come for my age. I am as old as I am.
Yeah.
However, there are lots and lots of people, men and women, but also women that have a lot of pressure on us to be young all the time, to look young all the time. That once we hit a certain age, we're, you know, no longer important. We're useless. We can't do this. We're washed up sort of thing. So to take a shot at her age, that was classless. That was bad. That is something he should be ashamed of. It's ridiculous.
It's so weird because if he had just been like, you know, that date is really uncomfortable, I wouldn't have wanted to be a part of it, I'm glad I wasn't on it, and he just sort of said that, I don't think a lot of people would have had arguments with him. It's just
No, and she even said she had such a good reasoning for it where she was like, and that's why you weren't on it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't put you on it. These other guys, I feel like they were going to enjoy, have a good time with me. I knew you wouldn't, so I didn't invite you on it. He's going to lose his mind over that?
Goodbye, Yosef. I hope we never see or hear from you ever again.
Later.
I don't think they're gonna put him on anything else. I feel
No.
because I feel like the whole concept of Bachelor in Paradise has got to be classless to Yosef. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be wandering around there. At least fingers crossed.
Yeah. So we also have to talk about that group date where she spent the whole time making out with Dale, 40 minutes, almost an hour, leaving everybody sitting outside, which was so weird, awkward. However, I understand she is there to meet her husband, so I'm not taking anything away from her with that. But if you are on a group date, you can't really do like that because it does get disrespectful to everyone else. Yes, you're here to find your husband. There are other people you need to respect their time as well.
I was so entertained by this entire date, though. I was so entertained by the fact that they were all waiting around to do something in the day, and then Claire was just like, nah, I'm good. I spent a lot of time talking to Deanna Pappas, who hasn't been a Bachelorette in a long time, but...
And smelling Dale's pants in the other room.
I was busy, guys, so you know what? We're just going to do a long date at night, which guess what? They always do long dates at night. It's nothing really new about that.
Yeah, then she makes out with Dale for like an hour, and then she tells the producers to hurry along the other guys because she doesn't want to spend any time with them. That was shocking. I was like, how the producers gonna hang her out to dry like that? Like a villain. She got a villain edit with that for sure.
It felt like they were framing her into like the Santa from A Christmas Story who is just like bringing up the kids and then punting them down the slide.
That's
it's
right.
Like, and then at a certain point, I love this part too. She's having a conversation and it's like Dale comes in like through the other door, and it's just like, bro, you already had your time. And the way he did is like, I thought this was the bathroom or something.
Oh my goodness, I was so glad that guys like Easy were like calling that out and being like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, just own it that you didn't look for the bathroom. We can see the bathroom and you walked right into her room. Like, why are you lying to us?
See, I'm so conflicted about a couple of different things here with Tayshia coming on, because it is like, number one, I appreciate the fact that it may restore like some element of normalcy to this show.
I am ready for Tayshia. I honestly didn't think I was going to say that because I really was looking forward to Claire, but I really like Tayshia. Please bring me on Tayshia.
But I will never forget these 3 episodes of just like pure garbage train wreck that I'd never anticipated something would be like this. Also, we haven't even talked about like Claire liking people's tweets saying that production like screwed her over and like supposedly they forced her out of being the Bachelor. It's like, Claire, you don't want to be with the rest of these guys. Like, you've already made this very clear on the show.
There are some guys that I'm really hoping stick around, like Riley and Bennett. I would like to see him stick around, but I really want to see Riley stick around.
Yeah, I want to see more Riley. I want to see more. I think the straitjacket guy is still there somewhere in the midst of all of this. Like, there
are some good guys here that I feel like we've gotten a little bit of screen time with, but I have been really wanting to have more with, and Riley's one of those guys, and Bennett now is extra one of those guys, but for different reasons. Bennett's a character. I like Riley.
I like Dr. Joe, too, the anesthesiologist guy. Like, he seems like he's got his stuff together. He may be too pure for this show, honestly. But we'll tie this up, mostly because I think we need to go sedate ourselves after this. But is this the weirdest episode of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette that you guys have ever seen? Like, what do you think about Claire also after this? Let us know. Give us a like, subscribe, support us further. Check those links to the store as well as our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.